Hi everyone, my name is Leslie and today we're going to be learning how to graph points from a table. First thing you want to do is read the label. So the first label is number of breaks and that matches to the label on the x-axis. Then you realize that water and cooler, which is in the units of gallons, is in the y-axis. So if you have 0 breaks, there are 10 gallons in the cooler. So you go to the x-axis, find the number 0, and then you go to the y-axis and find the number 10. And that's going to be where your first point is. So for 1 break, there are 8 gallons in the cooler. So you go to the x-axis, find the number 1 because those are the number of breaks. Then you're going to go up until you find the number 8 because that's how many gallons are in the cooler when there is 1 break. For 2 breaks, there are 6 gallons in the cooler, so you find the number 2 on the x-axis. Then you go up and find the number 6 on the y-axis, and that's where you put your point. And finally, for 3 breaks, there are 4 gallons in the cooler. So you put the point right here where the 3 is the x-axis and 4 is in the y-axis. Then you click submit, and there we go. Now for another example. If you want to graph this data on the coordinate plane, the number of toppings is on the x-axis, as you can see right here, and the cost is in dollars, which is on the y-axis, and you can see this on the second column on the table. So for 0 toppings, it costs $7. For 2 toppings, it costs $8. So you're going to find the number 2 on the x-axis and go up to $8 on the y-axis. Then for 4 toppings, you're going to find the number 4 on the x-axis. Then you're going to go up until you hit the number 9 on the y-axis, as you can see right here. Then for 6 toppings, you're going to find the number 10 on the y-axis and the number 6 on the x-axis. And then you're going to put the point there. And now we're going to submit. There we go. This graph is going to tell us the distance traveled by Max the rabbit. So the number of hops is on the x-axis and the distance traveled by Max is on the y-axis. And the distance is by yards. So for 1 hop, the distance traveled is 2 yards. So number of hops is 1. Then we go up to 2 yards and that's where we put our point. 2 hops is equal to 4 yards. And now for 3 hops, Max has traveled 6 yards. And for 4 hops, Max has traveled 8 yards. There we go. And this is the third one. Okay. For the fourth example, you're going to see the number of batches compared to vanilla extract. So if you have 1 batch, you're going to have 2 vanilla extract tablespoons. So you're going to put the point right there. And now for 2 batches, it requires 4 teaspoons, 4 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So you're going to see the number 2 on the x-axis and then go to the 4 tablespoons on the y-axis, and that's where you're going to put your point. Now for 3 batches, you're going to find 6 teaspoons, and that's where you put your point. And for 4 batches, you find the number 4 on the x-axis and the number 8 on the y-axis because it requires 8 teaspoons. Then you submit. There you go. And this is our fourth example. It tells you a pack of root beer bottles. So for the bottles consumed, that's on the x-axis. The bottles remaining is on the y-axis. So if you have consumed 0 bottles, there are 6 bottles remaining. If you have consumed 1, you look at the one on the x-axis, then you find the number 5 on the bottles remaining, which is the y-axis. Then you go to the number 2 for 2 bottles consumed, and 4 for the bottles remaining on the y-axis. Then you find 3, if you consume 3 bottles, then there are 3 bottles remaining. There we go. And our last example is going to be about an ice cream social. If there are 15 people, then the amount of gallons needed is 3. So you find the 15 on the x-axis and then you find the 3 on the y-axis, and then you put the dot right there. Make sure to always read the labels at the of the axis. So the number of people is x, that's correct because we chose 15. And for the y-axis, the label is amount of ice cream needed in the unit of gallons, and that's 3, and the number 3 is the one we put the dot next to, so that's correct. Now we're going to do the second point, which is for 30 people, you need 6 gallons of ice cream. So you go to the 30 on the x-axis and the 6 on the y-axis. For 45 people, you need 9 gallons of ice cream, and for 60 people, you need 12 gallons of ice cream. And that's the final problem we're going to do today.